playing part 2 of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Alright, let me publish this on Discord. Alright, there we go. Let's continue, shall we? Okie dokie. I wasn't quite sure what to do when I stopped last night, so I'm gonna have to look around. This is where the medium sits, I assume. There are 4 panels of this flooring. The straw in the flooring feels a little damp, probably from the humidity in the air. No matter what I do, my eyes keep getting drawn to the pool of blood in the center here. Alright. The old lady is gone, apparently. I guess this is an altar. Whatever it is, it feels very important. A mirror-like object with a cloudy reflected surface, and some branches of a sacred tree have been set in a predetermined arrangement. I'd guess they're used during the channeling. It's a beautiful and expensive folding screen. It also looks quite old. There seems to be some sort of sacred text written on it, but I can't read it. It's a hole. Could this have been made by a bullet? Folding screen added to the court record. About 8 inches off the ground is a small hole that looks like a bullet hole. Well, then I do believe it is time for me to take my leave. Alright, please tell Maya I said hi. What was that? I mean, Mystic Maya. I will tell her. Yeah, so I guess she was still there, yeah, but she simply didn't show because I was examining the place. Yeah, this is where I wanted to go. Maybe Pearly is going to be there now. There she is. You surprised me. And how are you today? I guess she isn't open to friendly chatting. She's still holding something in her hand. It looks like the same thing she had yesterday. You'll have to excuse me, I'm just had dinner. And I keep burping. Just great. Where did that go? For crying out loud. Heck if I know. Alright. Yeah, there we go. There it is. Alright. Okay, there we go. I've got stickers on my keyboard in front of me to turn it into a QWERTY keyboard, because that's the only thing that works on my Nintendo Switch. Anyway. Oh yeah, Maya said to give this to you. I'm in trouble now. If Morgan sees us like this, I'll be the next one they're channeling. That's Mystic Maya's. She actually spoke. Who are you? I'm Phoenix Wright. I worked with Maya. You worked with Mystic Maya? You're Mr. Nick, right? Excuse me? I bet I know who she picked Nick up from. I know who you are. You're Mystic Maya's special someone. What? So then, of course, you're going to help Mystic Maya, aren't you? That's what you're going to do, right? Well, yeah, I will. Oh, wow, it's like a beautiful fairy tale. That earnest look shining brightly in your eyes. It must be true love. What? Why am I being boiled into a bright red lobster by this little kid? I'm so jealous of Mystic Maya. What a wonderful relationship. Wait, I mean, we aren't. Things aren't like... I can tell you're a good person. Alright, Mr. Nick, I may be small, but I'm going to help you in any way I can. Oh boy, she's my new assistant now. Are you interested in Kirane's traditional things too, Mr. Nick? Kirane's secret writings are on this folding screen. Oh, is that what's written on it? Actually, what caught my eye was this hole in it. It's a very old screen, so I think that maybe bugs made it by eating through it. It sure doesn't look that way to me. I'm sure it is helpful to you in some way, but I'm still in training, so I don't know anything about it. I'm really deeply sorry. No, it's okay. I shouldn't have shown you something so trivial anyway. I'm very sorry. This feels so weird talking to a kid like this. So this is Mystic Maya's Magatama. It's one of the most important heirlooms of Kirin Village. Please make sure to take good care of it. Yeah, I will. Is it really okay for me to have such a priceless object? Yeah, okay, she's gonna say the same thing. Hey, check this out. Okay. No, never mind. Well, maybe it's time we talked. Pearl, are you friends with Maya? Well, she's her cousin, so... I feel very grateful to be friends with her. She's so great. I want to be like Mystic Maya when I grow up. I really look up to her. Wow, I had no idea Maya was so revered. Usually when people don't use Mystic Maya's title, I get mad. Oh, sorry. But if it's you, Mr. Nick, then it's okay. Because you're special to her. Where in the world did she get an ID like that? By the way, this may be rude, but which channeling school are you from? Which channeling school? Yes, for example, I studied the Korean technique. I get it. No, I'm a lawyer. A lawyer. Lawyer. Yep. Is that related to spirit mediums in any way? None that I know of. Wait, are you telling me you don't know what a lawyer is? I'm sorry, but I have no idea. Maya did say Pearl doesn't know much about the outside world. So what's that you've got there, Pearl? Oh, this? I found it yesterday. If you want it, I can give it to you. Yeah, sure, okay. Alright, well, if you really want to give it to me... You look like a child at the toy store, Mr. Nick. She not only speaks in a refined manner, but laughs in one too. Black key added to the court record. An old steel key. A green jewel is set in the center of the key's grip. Mr. Nick. Yes, Pearls? I can call you that, right? You're too cute to just call you Pearl. Sure, Mr. Nick. Are you sure it's okay for me to have this Magatama? Yeah, it's okay. I was told to give it to you. But I can't accept something like this. All I really should do is charge this Magatama with spiritual energy. Spiritual energy? Please take this. I'm sure it will be helpful. It's glowing now. What do you mean? It will let you see people's secrets. See people's secrets? Yes. If it's alright with you, I would like to accompany you for a little while. I can explain the Magatama's power to you when we meet someone hiding a secret. Well, I would very much like to interrogate that woman. What was her name again? Eeny Miny? Yeah, in that room. Assuming she's still there anyway. Ah, she's there. There we go. Hello again. We seem to be seeing a lot of each other today. Oh, she's like totally cute. Is she like your daughter? What? No! How old do you think I am? Wow, it's Magatama. Oh, you shouldn't have. It's so totally not for you. Yeah, but that's something I already showed her yesterday. I want to ask you about the victim, Dr. Gray. I, totally don't know him. Ah, there we go. Ah, what is that? You can see it, can't you, Mr. Nick? You can see the lock on that person's heart. What? This is the power of the Magatama. Only you can see these Psyche locks, Mr. Nick. Psyche locks, huh? more someone wants to hide their secret, the more locks you will see. If it's only one, I think you can easily unlock it. Unlock? But how? Please use Mystic Maya's Magatama on this person, and let's remove the lock. I have no idea what she's talking about, but guess I'll give it a try. You must be careful though, Mr. Nick. If you make a mistake, it will hurt you. If you don't think you have the proof you need, you must have the courage to stop. Well, I've got to start somewhere. Let's give this Psyche Lock thing a try. If it's gonna hurt me, I might as well save before I try anything. I'm going to ask you again. Did you know Dr. Gray? I totally don't know that guy. Like, you're totally more persistent than a roach. Liar. This girl is hiding something, I'm sure of it. I guess I have no choice but to remove this lock. Alright, so first I have to use my Magatama. What do? Do I present it? Take that! The victim. Eeny miny, I believe you do know who Dr. Gray is. I told you, like, how many times do I, like, have to repeat myself? Give me a second. You don't want to be allergic like I am. Hopefully that helps. If you're like so totally sure, then where is like your proof? While it may be possible that you never actually met Dr. Gray in person, I do believe you might have at least indirectly known of him. Like, what do you mean, like, indirectly? I should try to show that the possibility existed for now. So something that shows a connection between Innie and Dr. Gray. Here's your proof. Like, what is that? Ouch. I guess it doesn't have anything to do with it, huh? Oh. Pearls did warn me. If you make a mistake, it will hurt you, she said. If I don't have enough evidence, I should probably stop. I should take another look at the court record and think it through one more time. In the profiles, maybe. This maybe? Maybe I don't have yet what is required here. I don't think I have enough evidence yet. I should investigate and gather some more clues before I try again. Yeah, probably. Oh boy. I swallowed air. Hey, it's you, pal, so you're going to be her lawyer, I bet. Yes. Oh, I really feel bad for you, pal. Just this once, I wish I could be on your side. Detective Gumshoe. Yeah, but I shouldn't be saying that kind of stuff to you. Hey, you're a cute kid. I'm not scary, honest. Wow, I never knew Gumshoe liked kids. Hey, I know. I'll show you something cool. How's this? It's a real, genuine pistol. Detective Gumshoe, what are you doing showing her something that dangerous? Oh, sorry. What about Maya and the charges against her? I don't think you can win, pal. If you're talking about proof, we've got a few pieces. You got proof? Yeah, pal, that puffy-haired photographer is going to testify tomorrow. Ah, not again. You must be talking about Loda. Actually, speaking of Loda, I took some hot pictures earlier, huh? Remember? Yeah, right. Yeah, right away. Loda's hot pictures. I wonder what our camera captured. Besides, you must have realized by now, pal. There is no way anyone other than Maya Fey could have done it. What am I supposed to say to Pearls now? About Dr. Gray. The victim wasn't super famous, but people still knew who he was. His face was all over those tabloid shows last year. Yeah, I know. I was looking through some newspapers from last year and... Huh? I could have sworn I cut an article out, but I guess I must have lost it. He's searching through his pockets, and boy are those big. It looked really interesting too. Hey, do you have a copy, pal? Well, yeah, I have it on me because I dropped by my office earlier, so... Let's ask him about that before anything else. About Maya's trial tomorrow, I've got 2 pieces of news for you, pal. Yeah, bad news and even worse news. So which do you want to hear first? I don't really care. It doesn't change the fact that I'm not going to like it. Alright, pal. Well, the prosecutor for the trial is Prosecutor von Karma. What? Von Karma? No, not that one. Manfred von Karma. He was an awe-inspiring veteran prosecutor. He never lost a case in the 40 years of his career, and he raised a fearsome disciple. The horrible aftertaste of the evil he force-fed me is something I'll never forget. Wait a sec, but didn't Von Karma stand trial, and that's where the other piece of bad news comes in. The Von Karma you're facing tomorrow is actually his successor. Successor? So, who is the successor to Von Karma? Literally, pal, it's Prosecutor Von Karma's kid. His kid became a prosecutor real young, like 13, and hasn't lost a trial since. That's what they call a prodigy, pal. Kid, huh? Wait a second. 13? The kid became a prosecutor at the age of 13? I mean, a prodigy like that, I would have heard something about. Oh, no. The kid was born and raised in Germany, pal. The country's got a lot of stuff and is a great place to develop a person's talents. Germany, huh? That's probably why I've never heard of this person. Still, all it takes is someone mentioning the name Von Karma, and I get terrible flashbacks to that case. Stop it. Get a grip on yourself, Phoenix. None of that matters anymore now that he's gone. Dr. Gray brought this over to my office the other day, and... Hey, it's that news story, the one about the malpractice suit. 14 patients died, and it caused a huge stink. Yeah, but that's not all, pal. Things only got worse after that. You mean the car accident the nurse died in? Oh, here we go. I brought my own clipping with me today. Here, pal. This is for you. Alright, thanks. Ah, there we go. The nurse was related to that to Inimini. They have the same family name. Last name is what I should say. Mimi Miney, nurse at Gray Surgical Clinic, died after falling asleep at the wheel. There we go, we have it. Take a look at this newspaper clipping. Like, what is it? A story about an accident? Please read the victim's name. Mimi Miney. Miney is a pretty rare last name, wouldn't you say? Miss Mimi Miney wouldn't happen to be a relative of yours, would she? So you notice, she was my older sister. I'm sorry about your loss. Your sister, was she a nurse? Perhaps at Dr. Gray's surgical clinic? Gray Surgical Clinic? I don't think I need to tell you that the clinic was run by the victim, Dr. Turner Gray. Which is how you knew of Dr. Gray. You knew him through your sister. There we go. Unlock successful. Ah, excellent. Please, tell me all you know about Dr. Gray. My sister's name was Mimi Miney. She was like a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic. That's what I thought. I heard that like Dr. Gray was really tough on people, like a total slave driver. My sis was like always coming home totally wiped out because she was overworked. Wiped out? So is that why she fell asleep at the wheel? That guy like drove my sis so hard, so like that's what the accident happened. The one where 40 patients died from malpractice? Yeah, like, I think that was the doctor's fault, too. My sis was pushed by, like, everyone's expectations and, like, her duties and stuff. And that pushed her to death. Oh, I'm sorry. So, like, are we done? I've, like, already told my story to, like, everyone. Do you understand now, Mr. Nick? This is how a psyche lock works. Well, I don't plan to pry into people's hearts unless I have absolutely need to. The luck this time was pretty easy, but you might meet people who aren't as willing to give in later on. If you don't have enough proof, be careful and know when to stop trying. Maybe I should go see Maya now. Mr. Nick? What's wrong? I have never left Karain Village. Really? Wow, that's, pretty amazing. You are going to meet with Mystic Maya, aren't you? Please tell her I said hi. Hey, wait! She ran off. Again. Well, I know it is secret now, but I still don't have any idea how I'm going to save Maya. I don't even know if I should go in there with a smile or a straight face. I'm going to take a wild guess and guess that she's going to be following me from a distance or something, and then she's gonna show up later. Probably. Something like that. Nothing in my office. What am I supposed to do? I'm almost out of time. Can I really do anything? Can I really save her? Sorry to keep you waiting. Huh? Must be Maya. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Phoenix? That voice. Mia! Even without me being here, it looks like you've learned to stand on your own. Mia. She's Maya's older sister and my mentor. She was a top-notch defense lawyer, but a certain case forced her into retirement, quote-unquote. But whenever I'm in trouble, she comes to help, just like this. Her spirit comes back from the other world and borrows Maya's body, yeah, whatever. Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face in front of your client. A lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets, and especially when it's bad. Mia. You can't smile at the end if you haven't been smiling the whole way there. In any case, the face you're making now is no face to show a client, Phoenix. But... So, tell me all about it. I'm going to guess that my sister is in a lot of trouble again. You can say that again. I told her everything about what had happened in the last 2 days. Mia closed her eyes, deep in thought, while she listened. I see. Mia, what am I supposed to do? It's pretty clear what a good lawyer does in this situation. And that is, tell me please, believe in your convictions and fight for the complete acquittal of your client. Can you take a look at this? Is that really all you have, Phoenix? There's no time left. Try to show me something that will help you in tomorrow's trial. This is Maya's Magatama, isn't it? Why do you have it? Maya gave it to me, but... I see. This is something very important to me. Take good care of it, okay? She's looking at it with a soft look in her eyes. Mia, have you seen this key before? Ah, the key. It's literally the key to understanding everything that's happened in this case. This key? Phoenix, listen. Right now, that key is sitting in your hand. However, it shouldn't be. It contradicts the facts. What does she mean? I'm certain this key will be the piece of evidence that makes your case tomorrow. Yeah, probably because there's supposed to be only one, and now there's a second one. Wow, this badge brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it? I would love to stand with you at the defense's bench one more time. Pearly, she's really grown up. I left Kurain village a long time ago. She probably doesn't remember a thing about me by now. Well, she would have been 6 or 7 years old back at the time. I'm afraid I might have caused Aunt Morgan a lot of stress. When I left Kurain, I left Maya in my aunt's care. And now something like this happens. I've seen this man somewhere before. He had a strange name, and I'm almost sure I've questioned him before. I remember him making a show of confidence at first, but after 5 minutes he breaks down and I end up feeling bad for the poor guy. That's right, I'm already dead, but I feel very grateful to have been born a Fae, so I can talk with you like this. I'm sorry, but I don't remember who that is. I can't see Maya when I'm in her body like this, but I can tell she's very lonely and sad. Take good care of her, will you, Phoenix? I will. You think Maya's not guilty? How can you be so sure? I know she is, and I'll give you a hint as to why. Yes? Mediums can't have dreams. They can't? From what you told me, it sounds like Maya was having a dream while channeling. Yeah, she said she dreamt that she had died and had been buried in the ground. But that is impossible. You've heard it from her, I'm sure. When a medium channels, her own spirit disappears. Ah, then what does this mean? I think it's safe to bet that Maya was set up. It's up to you to blow the lid on this case tomorrow and show how she was set up. Excuse me. How am I supposed to prove her innocence when I have nothing to go on? If you're looking for a clue, it's already in your hands. It is? Just as it sounds, Phoenix, you already hold the key. Really? Come on, show me the key to this case. The key, huh? Alright, I'll show it to her, the key I hold. You already know everything you need to know. You know what the key to this case is. That is enough. But... how can I win tomorrow without knowing who the real murderer is? Who could have? I didn't know it at the time, but this day was going to end with a turn for the surprising. Maya is hiding something? Mia? Sorry. Mia, what? What's wrong? That's right, only I can see the psyche locks. Yeah, Mia must know something about the real murderer, but for this to be something that she would hide under lock and key from even me, what in the world is going on? Something tells me I might not necessarily be able to remove all the locks in one go. but I have an idea of who the real murderer is. What? Prosecutor Von Karma? You mean... No, I heard it's a successor this time. Successor? Manfred Von Karma was a really sinister man. He pulled all sorts of nasty tricks, and also he could win. He was a man obsessed with the word perfection. He had a perfect record for 40 long years. Who knows what sorts of dirty tricks he used to get each of those guilty verdicts. And now his successor, I wonder what kind of person they will turn out to be. It's no good. Mystic Maya! Pearly? You showed up. Thanks for coming all this way. I was really worried about you. Hey, where's the... Oh, sorry. Mother is watching over the trainees. She said they have training for 2 days straight with no breaks. Huh? Then you came all by yourself? Yup, I snuck out of the manor and followed the map. Don't tell me you walked all the way here. Of course not. I ran. That's... I can't. Oh my. If it takes 2 hours by train. Oh man. Pearly, what about the train? Huh? What's a train? I give up. It's time, isn't it? I'm really scared. What if Von Karma tries to do something to me? At least I know Mr. Edgeworth would be nicer to me than Von Karma. Mr. Edgeworth? Who is that? He's Nick's rival. Well, he's also a friend. Objection! I still remember him as though I'd seen him only yesterday. Objection! Every trial was a scorchingly fierce battle until the very end. Objection! Objection! It was always back and forth with them. But when you're rivals for life... Maya, please don't mention that name ever again. Huh? But why, Nick? I'm sorry, Maya. I forgot you don't know. He's gone, and he's not coming back. What? Oh, wait a second. What's that supposed to mean? Court will commence shortly. Please proceed into the courtroom. Let's go. Now's not the time to talk about that anyway. Nick. Court is now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. Are the prosecution and defense prepared? What is with this kid? Mr. Wright, are you prepared? Yes, Your Honor. Why does he always seem mad at me? Mr. Phoenix Wright. You must be a little shocked because I'm a woman, correct? Hold on, so she's the famed successor to Prosecutor Von Karma. I am Franziska Von Karma, the prodigy. I see. I gave up a promising career in Germany and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge. Revenge? Is this about our father, Manfred Von Karma? If it's something of a personal nature, I'm sure you can... Ow! I'm talking! Oh. This is not good. If you interrupt again, my whip will do the speaking for me. Please speak with your mouth like a normal person, I beg of you. Make no mistake, I will defeat you. Prepare to go down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Prosecutor Von Karma, your opening statement, please. And you're gonna have to wait for it. I'm sorry. Okie dokie. Those of Von Karma blood have only one fate. And that is perfection. The defendant, Maya Fey, will find no escape from her guilt on my watch. Very well. What is the defense's position? Your Honor, does the defense wish to enter a plea of not guilty? Yes. Foolish fool with foolish dreams of foolish dreams. 10 minutes. I give the defense 10 minutes before it changes its plea. That's right. I'll have you running for the justified self-defense plea in no time. Justified self-defense. A plea usually reserved from when a person unintentionally kills in defense from themselves. We could very easily make a solid case that it was self-defense, but... The defense stands by the plea of not guilty, Your Honor. Because to plead justified self-defense is to say you did kill someone. How foolish. If that's how you want to play it, Miss Phoenix Wright, then I shall now call out the first witness. She's just as scary as her father, like daughter, I suppose. Witness, your name and occupation? Yes, sir. My name is Dick Gumshoe. I'm a detective at the local precinct. Ah! Get to the point already. Explain to the court the details of this murder. Yes, sir. If everyone would please look at this map. The channeling chamber has no windows and the door was locked shut. At the time of the murder, only the victim and the defendant were in the room. What were they doing in there? They were channeling a spirit, sir. Channeling a spirit? It's quite the look of disbelief there, Your Honor. Anyway, a few minutes after the channeling started, gunshots were heard coming from inside the room, sir. A few of the witnesses broke the door down and rushed into the room. And that's when they found that the victim was already dead, correct? I believe this is one of the most open and shut cases I have ever presided over. Floor plans added to the court record, crime scene, a diagram of the channeling chamber. So how was the victim killed? I was about to get to that. Stop wasting my time then. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. The shot was fired from point-blank range. Hold on a minute. But before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. That sounds, overkill. So the victim was stabbed before being shot. This is the victim's autopsy report, sir. After being stabbed in the chest, he was shot in the forehead at point blank. The court accepts it into evidence. Mr. Wright, you may question the witness. The direct cause of death was a pistol shot to the forehead, sir. Tell me more. The murder weapon, Detective Gumshoe. Whose pistol was it? It was the victim's. The victim? Now, why would he have... Why would he have a pistol? Who cares? The point that you are missing is whose fingerprints are on that pistol. If you're not already paying attention to that, then I suggest you start. Fingerprints? There were fingerprints? Along with the victims. The defendant Maya Faye's were also on the grip, sir. So the defendant's fingerprints were left on the murder weapon. I walked right into her hands there. Point blank, huh? So about how far away is that? It's anywhere between 12 to 20 inches away. And how do you know it was shot at point blank? Mr. Phoenix, Wright, I grow tired of the foolish foolery of the foolish fools of this foolish country. Excuse me? Gunpowder burn. Gunpowder burn? When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. Gunpowder exploding is what makes a bullet fire, and that gets real hot, pal. And there were definitely some gunpowder burns left on the victim's forehead. Wow, never knew that. Live and learn, I guess. Before the victim was shot, sir, he was stabbed in the chest. How do they know that it was before, by the way? Stabbed? And what was he stabbed with? A fruit knife. I see. And whose knife was it? It looks like it belongs to the face, sir. And of course, Maya face fingerprints are all over it. All over it, huh? This does not look good. What will you do now, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? The wound was very severe, but not enough to cause instantaneous death. How severe was the wound? If it had been half an inch more to the right, it would have hit the victim's heart. After a stab like that, it's impossible to fight back, let alone stand. His testimony makes it sound like Maya had stabbed him with the intent to kill. The murderer used the pistol to finish the victim off after the stabbing. Are you sure he was stabbed first, then shot? Yep, sure can be. One look at the wounds and you'd come to the same conclusion too, pal. A fool is a fool will only listen to the foolish opinions of other foolish fools. A pistol shot to the forehead at point blank is certainly enough to kill instantly. Does it matter then which was first? Think a little more before you open that big mouth of yours, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What a pain. That's enough. We have clearly established how the victim was murdered. I brought the 2 murder weapons with me today. Very well, the court accepts them into evidence. No, oops. The date and time of death was June 19th at 3:15 p.m. Eyewitnesses claim to have heard 2 gunshots at this time. And 2 murder weapons, both with the defendant's fingerprints on them, huh? Sorry. As if the summary just now wasn't oversimplifying things to the extreme.
Your Honor, feel free to stab that little gavel of yours.
After all, there is no room left for doubt, is there? That is quite true, Mr. Wright. Yes? Even in the face of all this, do you still wish to plead not guilty? It's the opinion of this court that if you do not adjust your plea, you stand to lose. See? Just as I promised, Mr. Phoenix Wright, you would change your plea in less than 10 minutes. What will you do, Mr. Wright? Will you change to justified self-defense? Because now would be the time to do so. This is your final chance. This is a huge decision. I better think this through all the way. If we plead justified self-defense, we would basically be confessing to murder. After the trial, Maya's life would be ruined, and she'd be labeled a murderer. I can't let that happen. Your Honor, if you reach a conclusion, Mr. Wright, the defense will not change its plea. We will accept nothing short of complete acquittal. You have sealed your fate, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Detective! Yes, sir? Present the final portion of your testimony, the final strike. Yes, sir. Now, see here, proceedings are run by... Oh, yes, of course. Go ahead, detective, and give your testimony. I think the court would like to hear about the other piece of incriminating evidence. Sorry, pal, but there's an even more incriminating piece of evidence. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. As you can see, it's covered in blood. The defendant attacked and killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. So this is the costume. There certainly is evidence of a back spray of blood on this. This piece directly links Maya fate to the crime, sir. I see. The court accepts this into evidence. Alright, Mr. Wright. Maya's fingerprints on both murder weapons and blood splatters on her clothes. Could this situation get any worse? What's wrong? You seem to be at a loss. I think this is the last piece of testimony the prosecution should have to offer. Feel free to sulk off with your tail between your legs, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Please stop calling me by my full name. It's disturbing. murder weapon was Gray's. 2 shots fired. Bears Maya's and Gray's fingerprints. Someone could have been behind the folding screen. How do you call that anyway? Yeah. There's blood on the costume. Lab results show that it is the victim's blood. So there is blood from the victim of the defendant's clothes. Definitely not good. So, were there any other clues you could glean from this piece of evidence? Well... If you must change the topic, then the good detective here must testify again. But too bad, not enough time. Let's move on. Yes, Miss Von Karma is perfectly correct. Now even the judge is on our side. But if I bite off more than I can chew here, what should I do? Why is Miss Von Karma suddenly putting up resistance? There must be a reason as to why she suddenly threw out an objection like that. There must be something about this costume. There's a hole in it! There's a bullet hole in it! Miss Von Karma's logic is perfect. There is no way for you to poke a hole in it. Well, talking about poking a hole in it... looks like my time is up, so about the costume. Your Honor, actually there is something very wrong with this piece of evidence. What? What are you talking about, pal? Where is this problem you are talking about? I've come this far. There's no turning back now. The problem I have with this piece of evidence is here. Ask the court to please take a look at the sleeve of this costume. The sleeve? There is a tiny hole here. A hole? But that wasn't in the report. Hold on. What's this around the hole? It smells faintly of gunpowder. Gunpowder? No one ever told me. A hole that smells of gunpowder. It looks like I found the hole I was looking for. Your Honor, the only logical conclusion you can make is that it must be a bullet hole. Order! 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 This is a very grave matter. It's best we correct the court record first before anything else. Sorry about that, I guess we messed up, sir. Is she actually smiling? What else is she hiding? Put yourself together, detective. That tiny hole doesn't change a thing. The strength of the evidence still holds. Continue with your testimony. That just now was a fluke. Nothing more. How can you say something like that? This is a huge oversight. While I agree it is a mistake on the part of the police. What Prosecutor Von Karma has said is true. The evidence still stands. If you do not find a more definitive problem with the evidence then... No way! Detective Gumshoe, please continue with your testimony. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, I feel way too hot right now. Here we go again, I'm sorry. Need that fan. The defendant attacked and killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. How does he know that? He wasn't fighting back? How do you know if he was or wasn't? We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. And Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. But I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. Maya's costume? He was wearing this when we arrested her. Maya, she's wearing her channeling costume today too. Is she not allowed to wear anything else? As you can see, it's covered in blood. Why didn't you say so in your testimony earlier? You're kinda scary today, you know, pal? Come now, Mr. Wright, there is no need for that kind of attitude in my court. Alright, just please stop glaring at me like that. Oh, alright, I'll give you that the blood splatter is from the victim, but... What is this hole in the sleeve? I'm sorry, pal, we must have thought it was a tear in the seam. Missing the hole is not what I'm asking you about. I'm talking about the hole himself. The smell of gunpowder clearly gives away that it is a bullet hole. As if little things like that matter. But they do. A bullet hole in the sleeve, blood splatter all over the costume. Neither of these things can change the fact that the defendant killed the victim. Well, I guess she's right. I know there's something more to this costume. Yeah, wasting precious time. Yes, sir. Well... The fingerprints of the victim are on the pistol, so... The defendant attacked a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. No. That's not what it is. I figured, well, if his fingerprints were on it, maybe he attacked Maya first. I don't know. Small fruit, Detective Rudy. Hi, Panda. Murder weapon, a small fruit knife, belongs to the face, bears Maya's fingerprints. As you can see, it's covered in blood. No, I'm not naked, of course not. I just took up my t-shirt because it's way too hot in here. No, okay, I already asked about that. It's my all-important badge. It shows that I'm a defense attorney. I know, I can't use that here, I'm afraid. And Von Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Well, I'll find a critical contradiction somehow, and then I'll have her. The defendant attacked and killed a person who without a doubt was not fighting back. Or this, maybe. No? Nah, that's incorrect. As you can see, it's covered in blood. It's not in the... It's not in the character profiles, is it? Murder during channeling. It's tough, this one. This is the costume the defendant was wearing at the time of the crime. The contradiction has to be there, I think, but I don't know how to prove it. I've tried this, it didn't work. It's not that either because I already tried. Let me hear this again. We could find no evidence that the victim put up any sort of struggle, pal. So did the murderer have a fight with the victim or not? Depending on this, the circumstances around this murder changed drastically. We're in real trouble now. If only I had something to prove that the victim did fight back. That one Karma, she thinks she can decide the verdict with this testimony alone. Yeah, so that's what I have to do. I have to prove that he did fight back. I think I already tried this. Now, well, I did try. So it's not the gun, it's not this. Well, yeah, there's a hole in the... How do you explain this? He must have shot, I guess, because if he took a bullet in the head, then he can't be the one who shot the bullet into the sleeve. I mean, if he was already dead, he couldn't have shot, so he must have shot first, since he died from being shot. Yes, hey, having you call me by my full name is kind of a weird feeling. You said that my client killed a person who, without a doubt, was not fighting back. Yeah, I did. And what, may I ask, is the bullet hole you police overlooked supposed to mean? What does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. It means that the victim had fired off a shot. Is this what it means to not fight back? You're right. It seems you are correct. If the victim had tried to shoot the defendant, then it would change everything. Alright, the wind seems to be shifting. What is with that "are you finished yet" laugh? Are you finished yet, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Miss Von Karma? It seems that Maya Fey was shot at by the victim. However, that is only grounds enough to support the justified self-defense plea. That is correct, but I'm sure you remember, Your Honor, what the defense clearly said. They rejected justified self-defense and pleaded not guilty. Now that why, that's right. Please stop with your whip. Which means the defense has yet to prove anything at all. No. Well, yes, that's true. Furthermore, just the fact that there is a bullet hole in the costume is not enough to substantiate even the plea of justified self-defense. Huh? How so? Don't just stand there. Hurry up and tell the court what transpired that day. With the new information we acquired added in, of course. You mean by myself? You want me to put together the scenario all by myself? Yes, sir. Right away, sir. During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. Oh. The scenario you have put together does make sense. Yes, sir. Well, Mr. Wright, on the surface, it does seem to make sense. However, I won't give up that easily. Please refrain from glaring at me like that. Now then, your cross-examination, please. During the channeling, the defendant saw a chance to stab the victim in the chest. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and handed it. There was quite a difference in height between Dr. Gray and the defendant. Add in body strength, and it seems unlikely the defendant could have stabbed the victim. Now that you mention it, yeah, I guess. You think you can get away with such flimsy reasoning, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Maya Fey was in the middle of channeling, was she not? When channeling with the Korean channeling technique, the medium physically changes. With the nurse's build, the defendant could have easily been a match for the doctor. I don't believe it. She even studied up on the Korean channeling technique. Like I said before, I am perfect. About what you were talking about, I don't quite get it. Never mind, let's continue with the testimony. Of course, the victim used the last of his strength to fight back, sir. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But if you think about the blood loss, he was probably hurt pretty bad. How badly hurt would he say he was? Actually, I went to give blood the other day, and afterward I felt a little lightheaded and dizzy. I guess the damage was maybe about 10 times the dizziness. Sorry. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. Yeah, hold on. Where in the world did that pistol come from? It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray, had specifically bought it for that day. But a handgun? He got it off the black market about 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring in a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? The victim took a shot, but because they were too close, he missed. So you're saying that the bullet hole in this costume was made then? Sorry, pal, but yeah, that's what I think. Two of them were already fighting when a shot was fired. Maya, I'm really glad you weren't hurt. The defendant then picked up on the opening, took the victim's gun and ended it. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. The But there's got to be a contradiction in there somewhere. And uncovering it is going to uncover the truth. I can feel it. Wait. Maya's never fired a gun before in her life. The victim had already taken off the safety. With the safety off, even an amateur like you can fire it just by pulling the trigger. Even me? I wonder. Now, do you understand? Upon Karma's logic is perfect. His testimony certainly makes us look very bad. But there's gotta be a contradiction in there somewhere. I'm covering it, yeah, right. But I can't prove it, but that's not possible what he's saying there, because we already know that during a channeling, the spirit of the medium leaves its body or something.
So she couldn't have seen any chance to stab the victim.
Nah, I can't check it for more details. While the two were fighting, the victim took out his gun. Where in the world did that pistol come from? Yeah, I've been wondering about that since the beginning. It looks like the victim, Dr. Gray. Yeah. 2 days before the murder. Why did Dr. Gray bring a gun? Was he taking precautions against something? Yeah, well, I've already read that. I should save right away. Just to be sure. She's 18. Francesca von Karma. During the channeling, the defendants are a chance to start the victim in the chest. I don't know why, but I find this game harder than the previous one. Yeah, I already had that. Jeez, I don't know what to pick. I can't present any of the profiles, can I? Murder while channeling. Less of a strength to fight back, sir. Tell me about that again. So he was stabbed, but the stab wound didn't kill him. But but if you think about the bloodlust, he was probably hurt pretty bad. I know, I already had that one.
Yeah, tell you again about that one.
Maya's never fired a girl before in her life. I think this is something... Yeah, hold on. If I had to guess, I'd say it's on that last one that I have to press. Or to raise an objection anyway. Stabbed in chest and shot at point blank. Well, I'm drawing a blank on that one. I'm afraid I'm stuck. Hold on, hold on. Because I looked up the answer, because that would not have occurred to me. Missing the tiny hole on this costume. Would it be the prosecution's undoing? Hey, what do you mean? This little hole has actually created a huge hole in your testimony. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright, because even I don't know what that's about. You said the two of them were fighting when the victim fired his gun at point blank. If that were true, then where is the gunpowder burn on this costume? Gunpowder burn? This is what you testified earlier. When something is shot from point blank, a burn area is left around the bullet hole. But there is not a single trace of gunpowder burn on this costume. Actually, I thought there was. That is a very good point. And what exactly does this mean? It means that when the shot was fired, they were standing apart from each other. Objection! I'm disappointed, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You think you can punch a hole in my logic with that? What wishy-washy thinking like that? Anyone can explain anything away. Now with wishy-washy thinking like that. Then I implore you to disprove my line of thinking. Let's see, in the middle of their fight, the victim pushed the defendant away. And it was then when they were separated that he fired. How was that? As if that was even possible. According to testimony, the wound from the stabbing was very severe. The victim would not have had the strength to push the defendant very far after that. Well, then, That's right, the defendant must have pushed the victim away. After stabbing him, she must have put some space between the doctor and herself. And then while she was preparing to strike again, the doctor took a shot. There, that should satisfy even you. That does make an awful lot of sense. What do you think, Mr. Wright? I must be careful, I can't afford to make a mistake here. Concentrate and think. Yeah, because if I do make a mistake here, I have to prove it. Following my instinct, there is a fatal flaw in our argument, Your Honor. Fatal? Flaw? Meow! Very interesting. I would love to see where this flaw is. Show me something that contradicts my explanation. There has to be a snag in her explanation somewhere. She put some distance between them before rushing to make the final blow. And when she was about to strike, the doctor took his shot. I don't know why, but I think that's what it is. Take a look at this. Why are you showing this to me, pal? Prosecutor Von Karma's explanation, this piece of evidence, do not contradict. Looks like you need to use your brain a little more, pal. Okay, well, fair enough. I had it wrong. Murder weapon was Gray's, 2 shots fired. There's Maya's and Gray's fingerprints. Take a look at this. Nah, that's not it. That's not what it is. Again. Let's try it again, shall we? That's not what it is. Oh man. Ah shit. Not that. It's got to be something about that shot that the doctor took. About 8 inches off the ground is a small hole that looks like a bullet hole. This is the piece of evidence. Ah, okay, there we go. That destroys your logic. What is that? A folding screen? I would like to point the cord's attention to the hole in this folding screen. Ah, it looks like you already know what I'm talking about. Who, where, what? Mr. Wright, your explanation, please. Are these two really that clueless? The bullet went through the defendant's sleeve first, then the folding screen. It passed through at a height of approximately 8 inches off the ground, which means when the shot was fired, Maya, I mean the defendant, was not getting ready to strike, but was actually squatting low to the ground. Yeah, that could make sense. Order! Order! This changes everything! Please look at this diagram of the crime scene. The victim, Dr. Gray, was here when he fired the shot. and the bullet hit this folding screen. It hit at this location about 8 inches off the ground. At this time, the defendant was in this area. I'd say around here, right? He was standing here, near the folding screen. Wait a second. We know the defendant was close to the ground based on the height of the bullet hole, but how can you gauge the distance from that? Isn't it possible that the defendant was standing much closer to the victim? That's impossible. But why? You, of all people, should know the answer to that question, Miss Von Karma. If she were shot from somewhere closer, there would be gunpowder burns present. However, there is nothing of the sort around the bullet hole of this costume. Ah, curse you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You... I believe it has now been proven that the defendant was standing a ways from the victim when she was shot at. But do you think this has changed the defendant's situation? Honestly, Your Honor, this changes everything. Prosecution has claimed that the defendant was aiming to kill by stabbing. If that were true, delivering the final strike with the knife would be ideal. However, where and what was the defendant doing at the time? Squatting all the way by the folding screen? Exactly. If Maya Fey was a real murderer, why would she be by the folding screen instead of preparing to strike? Upon further consideration, it does make very little sense. Yeah, I figured there had to be a reason. Says he. Figuring things out and proving the logic behind everything is your job. Alright, with this, the rest of the trial should be in the uh-oh. Blast radius of disaster. You are such a smart man, Mr. Phoenix Wright. To think that you've been able to take a completely hopeless case to this point. Now I know why Papa had a tough time with you. You amuse me. Of all the things to inherit, why did it have to be that smarmy smile? Detective, how dare you damage my perfect logic? Huh? How is it all my fault? You can start repairing your standing by first removing that 3-strand goatee. Oh, and rest assured your punishment will come later. Punishment? Well then, Your Honor, I think I've had all I can take of this detective's face. I think it's time to call in the next witness. Next witness? That's gotta be Loda. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. After we reconvene, we will hear from the next witness. To be continued. And I won't be able to continue for very long. Maybe 10 minutes? Or maybe 15 minutes tops? Phew, that was a close one. I know you were giving it your all to defend me, but I could feel the death penalty hanging in the air. I felt like I was pretty close to dying myself. But you were wonderful out there. You listened carefully, made theories, and tricked everyone into believing you. Thanks. Wait, tricked? That must be the lawyer's secret technique, right? By the way, is the next witness who I think it is? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Slaughter Hart. Oh, guess there's no escaping her, huh? Remember, Nick, you promised you'd save me. If you lose me and my sister's ghosts will come after you and haunt you. Your sister? Are you talking about Mystic Mia? Yeah, do you remember her, Pearly? My sister was a super good lawyer. She was also Nick's teacher. Oh, I didn't know that. We're back in court now. That was a very short recess indeed. Court will now reconvene. Now, the first order of... Ow! I don't want to hear it, old man. After I call my witness, sit there quietly and watch like a good little boy. Yes, sir. Bring in the photographer who witnessed the channeling. She didn't witness the channeling. She took pictures after everything was over already. Witness, your name and occupation, if you please. Hey, Phoenix, how you doing? Just fine. Sorry about this, didn't exactly have a choice, you know? Yoza! Name and occupation. I declare, what in tarnation? Hey, Judge, this here is violence against my fair self. That's fine. That's fine? That ain't fine. That's a whip. Yeah! There's no need for foolish outcries from foolishly foolish fools. Just hurry up and testify about what happened on the day of the murder. I haven't even gotten to say my name and job yet. Name is Slaughterheart, paranormal photographer, and I'm here to testify. Now, let's all be one big happy family, okay? Witness's account. Only the dog and the defendant went to the channeling chamber. We were waiting outside the door and then bang, we hear this gunshot. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. I swear, other than those two, there was no one else in the room. And did you take a picture of the scene right after the murder took place? Well, I can already spot an incoherence within her testimony because she's only mentioning one gunshot when there were two. Reckon course. Excuse me? Reckon course. It's short for you reckon? Of course I did. Ah! Does it look like I care? Just hurry up and show your picture to the court. The moment of truth. What will be in that picture? Let's see here. This here's the picture. It would certainly seem that only the defendant and the victim were in that room. No, that's not true because someone could have been behind the folding screen. Are you ready, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I will clear all doubt about Maya through this cross-examination. Just watch me. Witness's account. Only the duck and the defendant went into the channeling chamber. Well, I can't argue with that. We were waiting outside the door and then bang, we hear this gunshot. You only heard one? Was it really a gunshot? Are you insane? You must have heard it as well. Why don't you testify for the court, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Was it really a gunshot? Yes, I think it was something that sounded like a gunshot. And why are we here listening to the defense testify? And the world becomes just a little crueler. I heard a gunshot a long time ago, so I know, and I tell ya, that was a gunshot I heard. Now, this is where the story heats up. Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down and we rushed into the room. Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. So, let me get this straight. This Mr. Lawyer there broke the door down. Honestly, Mr. Phoenix Wright, why don't you tell us what happened then? Yes, Miss Von Karma, I broke the door down. Sorry. Why does this feel like an inquisition? No need for apologizing. That was great. You're a real man. Oh, really? That's something I would have liked to see. Judge is smiling rather openly. I'll take that as a good sign. And what did you see once you broke in? Inside was the dead victim and the defendant waving a pistol around. Are you sure it was the defendant, Maya Fey? Sure, I'm sure. Lola seems awful confident in her testimony. Lola, please think back to that day one more time. What you getting at? Remember what you said when we broke into the room. Hold it! Yeah. Remember what you said when we broke into the room. I was murdered. Lola, at a time like this, times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. But anyway, what's going on here? This gal, is she Maya? Yeah. When you saw the murderer at that time, you couldn't even tell if it was Maya Fey or not, am I correct? Well, you see. Order. Miss Hart, you are here to present accurate testimony. Yeah, sorry. Good. This shifts things back to my side. For a defense lawyer, your defense is terribly lacking, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Witness, think back to when those two entered the channeling chamber. When they entered, One of those people that entered the chamber was Maya Fey, correct? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Maya that went in. It looks like we've come to a collective conclusion. The person in this picture is most certainly Maya Fey. Exactly. Rats, and I'm trapped like one, again. I swear other than those two, there was no one else in the room. I'd say someone could be behind the folding screen. No? Nah. Well, what I'm saying makes sense, but not as far as that game is concerned. No. Our story heads up. What's worse, I was there at the scene of the crime with her, and our story is exactly how I would have told it too. Leader's gunshot. Well, we heard two of them, for one thing. There were 2 shots fired. That does contradict what she's saying, but well, it's gonna be the exact same thing. Yeah, it's gonna be the exact same dialogue. Yeah. We know. Yeah, sorry. Good. Yeah, but it's all the same dialogue I already got earlier, so I can skip through that. Are you absolutely certain of that? Sure am, but that old witch chased us out. Old witch, just you mean Morgan Fay? There was no one else in there, and you know it. The channeling chamber was very dark, almost pitch black. Was there really no one else in there? What about behind the folding screen? Yeah, that's what I've been going on about since the beginning. What about behind the folding screen? Did you check back there? Right given. Huh? What in the... Right given, you know, you reckon that's a given. It took me a good look around the room once. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. If I may have a word with you, Miss Hart. What, you got a problem? Right given. I mean, I am having a little difficulty in understanding you. If you would please stop... ouch! Now then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, do you see a problem with the testimony or don't you? Our story heads up. What's worse, I was there at the scene of crime with her, and the story is exactly like I would have told it too, yeah. I'm not getting anywhere. Well, are you sure about that? If I already pressed her on that one. Objection! What are you blabbering about? You were there too, were you not? Yeah. I already asked about that. Yeah. Enough. It seems that there are no issues with Miss Hart's testimony. At the time of the crime, only 2 people were in the channeling chamber. The victim, Dr. Turner Gray, and the defendant, Maya Fey. The face of the defendant cannot be verified in this picture. However, if we think about the circumstances, it would have to be the defendant. What am I going to do if I just let this go? What is it, Mr. Wright? You look as if you have something to say. If I make one wrong move, I'm going to have the judge against me. Is there anything I can present that would prove it's not Maya in that photo? I got nothing. It's her body. If it was a channeling, but it was not her her soul inside her body. Or I don't know how to explain it any better than that. Well, Mr. Wright, nothing, Your Honor. That's very smart of you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You really should give up trying to prove this is not Maya Fey. I didn't say anything about giving up. I just don't have the right piece of evidence to prove my argument. That's enough. Is this it? Is this all I could do? I told you, totally 100% impossible. Ms. Von Karma, do you have any further questions for this witness? Having established the defendant's guilt, further questioning won't be needed. What about the defense? No further questions, I presume? I couldn't protect Maya. The defense... Phoenix, you can't make that kind of face. A lawyer is someone who smiles, no matter how bad it gets. Mia! What the heck? This is all kinds of wrong. That little 8-year-old girl is now an adult. This is all kinds of wrong. I guess I made it just in time, wouldn't you say? But pearls! Her clothes are a bit small. You don't say. Anyway, what are you waiting for, Phoenix? Let's go. But how? She's already taken away every advantage. The advantage is still in your hands. Think carefully one more time about what you saw in the channeling chamber. Do you remember what you told me yesterday? Dr. Gray. I was murdered. What? Loda, at a time like this, times like this are perfect for snapping up shots. You see, there is one final piece of this puzzle. Mia. Question Loda one more time, Phoenix. I don't know if she's doing it unconsciously or on purpose, but she's not testifying truthfully. Now then, this court would like to end the cross-examination period. Please wait, Your Honor. The defense would like to request that the witness testify one more time. Overruled. I'm afraid you're too late, Mr. Wright. The cross-examination has already ended. Furthermore, it's fine. I'll allow another testimony. Von Karma's case is perfect, absolutely flawless. And what better time than this for you to see that? But I mean, I have some place I must go after this. Oh, all right, I'll allow it. Miss Hart, hurry and give us another testimony. Well, heck, what am I supposed to talk about? Please tell us once more what happened when you burst into the channeling chamber. Okay, you got it. See, you got through to the judge somehow, right? Well, actually, it was Von Karma's whip that got through to him. Witness's account, part 2. Let's save again. When we broke into that room, all I could focus on was Maya. I was kind of scared of the dead body, so I didn't take a good look at it. I'm really bad when it comes to blood and ghosts and stuff. But I still managed to point my camera at Maya and take a shot. Our testimony is missing something. Because she took 2 pictures. Normally. Yeah, I should press her on those sections. Struggle all you like as you taste the bitterness of your defeat. Well, amuse me with your useless questions, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I'm waiting. Two, right? 2 what? 2 shots. You took 2 shots. But only one has been submitted as evidence. Miss Hart, where is the other picture you have been withholding? I bet it's the prosecution that's been telling her to withhold it. No, you've got it all wrong. It's not me. I didn't mean anything bad. I know I can be a little mean, but I ain't evil. Well, at least she knows herself. Then why have you not shown this other picture to the court yet? When it ain't obvious that prosecutor woman told me to shut my trap about it. What? Von Karma! Miss Von Karma, you're hiding critical evidence. Unforgivable, Von Karma. Suppressing evidence like this, you're as bad as your father. Yeah, I'm gonna confront her, alright. Your Honor, the defense asks that Prosecutor Von Karma be held in contempt of court. Well, yes. In contempt of court? You can't be serious, but you hid evidence from the court on purpose. That's not fair. Phoenix, are you a lawyer or a school child? I was so angry I lost my composure. Ms. Von Karma, would you care to explain yourself to this court? I thought this picture was not important and thus felt no need to submit it, that's all. How could you think? The pictures were more or less the same, so why bother with the second? I mean, it's just so much more trouble than it's worth for me to submit this as evidence. More trouble than it's worth? How can you say that? I want you to see it that... If you want to see it that badly, I'll submit it. Okay. It doesn't look like her at all. The face, I mean. But this is where we're gonna have to end it because I'm running out of time, unfortunately. Sorry. I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow and keep going with this, well, right from there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be seeing you tomorrow then for the part 3 of this playthrough of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All on the Nintendo Switch. See ya. Have a good one until then.